Robberies can be scary, but trust me, these guys, they're not built for crime. One real incident that got serious, followed by robbery, fails so dumb, you won't believe they're real. Number 1, the suspect forces Tommy toward the back of the shop.
The phones are over there.
The phones are over there, Tommy says, trying to keep his voice steady. They're here. Don't look at me. Look down. Look down. The robber gathers the phones into a bag, but he notices Tommy's eyes scanning the room, searching for an escape. But Tommy spots his moment, just one small opening, and bolts through the back door of the cell phone shop. He stumbles into the corridor between buildings and sees the rear door of the neighboring travel agency cracked open. He rushes inside. A woman working at the front desk looks up in shock as Tommy bursts through, understanding the danger instantly. Together, they slip out the front of the travel agency just as someone from the outside rushes forward and pulls down the security gate with a loud clatter. The robbers, now trapped inside the small cluster of rear rooms, realize what's happened. Panic hits them. A crowd has formed outside. Neighbors, bystanders, all staring, phones out, yelling for police. One of the suspects hurls himself shoulder first at the locked front door. "Come on," he shouts, voice cracking with fear. In the back, trapped between metal doors and cinder block walls, the assailants scramble. They rummage through drawers and maintenance supplies, their motions frantic and uneven. One of them finds a toolbox. His hands tremble as he pulls out a heavy wrench. Realizing they're trapped, the assailants surrender and are arrested on the spot. And here we have him, the bravest man alive, or at least he thinks he is. Stumbles into the convenience store with a toy gun, ready to pull off the heist of the century. Except all he really wants is a bottle of vodka. He sizes up the counter like it's Mount Everest, and then leaps, only to discover that gravity, the ultimate villain, has other plans. Splat right on the floor, he tries to stand, wobbles, and wobbles again. Honestly, he looks like a newborn giraffe learning to walk. Meanwhile, a random customer walks in, witnessing this drunken struggle. Should they intervene? Call the cops? Or just grab some popcorn? Ladies and gentlemen, a robbery attempt turned slapstick comedy. One bottle of vodka, 0 success, and a lot of laughs. Here's another failed robbery attempt. 2 men walk up to a suburban home. They spot a security camera, but it doesn't stop them. They ring the doorbell, and when the homeowner answers, they pretend to be landscapers and step inside. Once inside, the men push past the homeowners, making it clear they are after money. Seconds later, chaos erupts. The homeowner tackles one of the assailants, landing blows in an attempt to stop the robbery. The homeowner's cries attract the attention of a gardening crew across the street. 3 men watching from a distance freeze as the fight unfolds. The first assailant manages to escape, roaming nearby, while the homeowner rushes back inside to check on his family. Inside, he finds his wife and 2 children being held at gunpoint by the second assailant. In a struggle to protect his family, the homeowner uses his own firearm in self-defense, and the second assailant is killed at the scene. Authorities later identify the deceased as 58-year-old Larry Brodak, while police arrest his accomplice, 38-year-old Bradley J. Finnan. Finnan later tells police that 20 years ago, he had seen $200,000 in the house and believed it was still there, which led to the attempted robbery. He is charged with murder and home invasion. In Illinois, anyone involved in a felony that results in someone's death can be charged with murder. At the time of this production, the case is still pending. Next up, a daring jewelry store robbery. 5 masked men, hammers in hand, make a quick but bold strike. 5 men, their faces hidden by full masks, smash the display glass of a jewelry store. In mere moments, they grab all the valuables inside. The robbers flee the scene, but police receive a report immediately. Units spring into action, following the suspects by car, while a police helicopter hovers overhead to track their every move. Using real-time coordination and onboard computers, law enforcement pursues the gang for several tense minutes. In the end, the robbers are caught. The suspects are arrested by police, preventing any further escape of crime. Even with speed and planning, crime doesn't pay, and this time, law enforcement's fast response left the criminals with nowhere to run. Next, a chaotic robbery attempt. 4 men on a motorcycle target 2 unsuspecting victims, but their plan quickly unravels. Two men ride up on a motorbike while two others hang back, keeping watch. They approach the bike owner and the car owner, attempting to steal their belongings. A third robber soon joins in, escalating the situation. One of the robbers tries to push the car owner aside while the other two focus on the bike owner. But the bike owner resists, kicking and punching to defend himself. In the struggle, the robbers lose control of the bike and tumble to the ground. Seeing the chaos, the car owner grabs a weapon from his vehicle to protect himself and the scene. Startled by the show of force, the robbers quickly scatter in different directions, fleeing the area. The victims immediately call the police, who respond and track the suspects. This incident shows how quick thinking and self-defense can turn the tables, and how law enforcement ensures criminals are held accountable. What should have been a peaceful Sunday morning turned into a scene of panic and gunfire in a cafe in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Around 10:44 a.m., customers enjoying their coffee were suddenly confronted by a robber, but the criminal act was quickly thwarted, not by chance, but by a civil police officer who happened to be off-duty and present at the cafe. Security camera footage, which quickly spread online, captured all the tension. A young man enters the cafe and announces the robbery. Among the customers, a man in a yellow cap, the off-duty officer, notices the situation. Calm and calculating, he waits for the right moment to intervene. As the robber approaches the cashier, the officer discreetly checks his weapon. His wife, sitting with him, senses his plan and stays composed, ensuring she doesn't draw attention. Seizing a moment when the criminal is distracted, the officer stands, draws his weapon, and orders the robber to surrender. The situation escalates into an intense shootout inside the cafe. The officer fires 4 shots at the aggressor while staying alert for any accomplices outside. Even wounded, the robber fires one last time, prompting the officer to respond again. Customers panic, diving under tables for cover. Finally, the robber surrenders and throws his gun to the floor. In a tense moment, another customer impulsively picks up the weapon to hand it to the officer. Next, a terrifying encounter inside a store. A woman behind the counter faces a sudden and violent robbery. A man enters the store, his hand hidden in a bag, holding a weapon. The woman behind the counter notices him gesturing toward her. Suddenly, the man jumps onto the counter and lunges at her, pulling out his weapon. Both fall to the ground in the struggle. The woman screams and kicks, fighting back fiercely. The suspect jumps onto the counter again and slips away, making a second leap before finally running out of the store. The woman suffers injuries to her face in the struggle. Medics arrive quickly and take her to the hospital for treatment. Unfortunately, the suspect manages to escape and is not caught at the scene. This incident serves as a reminder of how quickly a situation can turn dangerous, and the courage it takes to resist in the face of sudden violence.